Hi. Okay, Alicia DR Hankins here. Well, if you saw me this morning, I swatched out these blue colors. So this was up, it was Wednesday, so Wednesday morning. I'm going to take this horizon blue. You know, horizon blue to me, okay, let's see if it goes in the sky. I think it's this pot here. And this is Mission Gold Korean paint. Right now I'm talking to myself. No one's here, but that's okay. I know this will be available for 24 hours. Hey, hi. I'm going to take this horizon blue, and I swatched out the colors this morning, but I'm going to try this horizon blue and see what happens when I put it on some sky. So my paper is longer than my phone is wide here. So I sketched out a beach. This is a place where we actually snorkel. And I just masked out, these are some greeneries and some of the trees. This is actually a mountain hill, but I didn't cover the whole thing. I just did the edge so I could get around the sky. And I roughly put in these palm trees. I did this technique once. I think that's how I did it the last time. I don't know. We'll see. You never know when you watercolor what you're going to get. So it's all a test. I have no idea what's going to come from it. Oops. Hit the phone holder. I just got this Vinci Maestro Series 35 brush the other day. I made one thing with it. So I'm testing the brush. I'm testing the paint. I'm used to the paper. And, you know, who knows? The water bucket here is just a little off the screen. Sometimes people like to see the water, you know. I just use a plastic bucket here with the lid. The lid is holding my bucket in place. And then when I transport it, all I have to do is take my lid and cover my water. So my dirty water and my clean water can get through my house without me spilling everything sometimes. So I didn't know if you saw the tip of the brush was kind of furred out and fluffed out when it's dry. As soon as you put it in some water, you get this razor tip. Okay, so let's see what happens. Normally I use a flat size 14 brush to put in my wash. Yesterday, or when I got this brush, I tried it with this brush, and I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to see what happens. And hopefully what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this around a little. I've never done a live video while painting my horizon before, so let's see what happens. Video won't be too long because we're just going to get through the sky and stop. That's what's happening off on the side here. So horizon blue, Mission Gold. And yes, I'm using the Vinci Maestro to mix my paint. Some people would just have a heart attack about that. Say, like, don't mix your paint with a good brush. But I've been mixing my paint with a junk brush for months, and I'm just going for it. So I'm going for it. I'm going to go ahead and put this in kind of solid. So you can see it's kind of acrylic-like. I put a lot of paint down, and I didn't pre-wet my paper, which maybe I should have. Too late now. So I'm going to come across and paint over it. Then I'm just going to keep adding water. Tilt my board a little this way. See what happens. So I'm going to let the paint and the brush and the water hopefully do its thing. Stay off the mountain. And I'm going to lighten it up as we go down. So I'm taking some paint off in the water here. And then I'm going to paint through with water. See what happens. I think this is rather opaque, this color. Mostly too because see my water down here. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of cloudy. So normally when the water gets cloudy, it kind of means that you have some opaque paint. So watercolor, unlike oil, I think, and quite unlike acrylic, you never know what you're going to get. So you kind of can't be a control freak and be a watercolor artist. I've had to let go a lot to not freak out about this right here. You know, this thing's not quite how I thought. Now I put the brush on a paper and think, well, I hope something good happens. I suppose there's some professional artists out there probably going to say, oh no, they always know where it goes, and good for them. Not me. So, and I kind of like it actually. So if you're a watercolor person, you know, shout out. Tell me how it goes for you. Oops, I'm sorry. That's me hitting my holder again. I don't have the greatest setup. I just wanted to do it quickly. Okay, so now it's all covered, so you can see how I got a wash on there. And I don't want something so perfect. I mean, it's the sky. So I don't know about the sky where you are, but where I am, it's near perfect. But the sky is, that is, not my painting. You can see how easily, though, that went on with this particular brush. And it's not a square brush, it's not a flat brush. And here I'm going to disturb the pigment with the brush again. You can see some streaks there. I don't have the light on. It's natural light coming through a window here. And hopefully that'll work. Okay, so there's some gradients in color. Yes, there's a little divot. You can see where it's warping. It's an Arches block pad, you know. So you can still be mad at Arches sometimes. I've heard good and bad about it. So I saw a video. I watched this girl do this trick. I saw lots of people talk about clouds and how they paint clouds. And, you know, I thought when I saw her do this, it was so much nicer than all that cloud. Oh, there, I got disconnected. I'm connected again. So while it's still wet, I'm going to show you what I do. I just sort of hope for the best. Like I said, I think I have to give up a lot of control watercolor painting because I used to be an acrylic painter, or I still have acrylic paint. And you know, I've kind of come to the conclusion that if you've ever been out on a Hawaiian beach, you don't know what kind of clouds you get. And they're all over the place. And in your mind's eye, you want to, you know, say that everything is perfect, but it's not. In minute to minute, you know, the wind comes and surprise you something else. Okay, so in one of the techniques that I did before, you kind of take out some of the color here behind the trees. Right now it kind of doesn't make sense, but it will hopefully get to that part. It kind of clouds behind the tree, but it's also giving you some space to put the tree paint back in. I might have taken too much out for over here. Might have been look too fabricated, you know. But again, yeah, sometimes nature is perfect. When you look up in the sky, sometimes the clouds are just so perfect you think, well, you know, if I painted that, someone would tell me it was wrong. So that's the blue sky so far. That's what I got. And I'm going to leave that to dry. And I know the lighting here, I got just a little bit of sunlight. I can see all of you joined. I wonder, are any of you painters? I'm a watercolor voyeur painter too myself. I like to watch other people do what they're doing. So this is a first for me, giving people a sneak peek into what I've got. You can see I had to stop at the horizon here. So I have learned doing several ocean scenes. I put little miniature ocean scenes on a circle, and I put those into bottles. And I found that I get great joy in putting the ocean in last, because I get the sky in first, and then I normally get the sand in next, and then I'll put the greenery in, and everything is all set. And it's just like for real when you're standing on the beach and you're waiting for the tide to come in. I'll paint the water in last. So that's the sky. I'll show you. I think if I turn the light on, you see what happens. You get the shadow of my holder. Changes the color a little. That's what I'm looking at. It's, you know, I just tried it with Horizon Blue. And we'll see what happens. I have a friend from Maui that just came through. How are you doing out there, Maui? Today it's hot here in Oahu. So I'm trying Horizon because I thought, well, why not? I would think that would be like a sky blue, right? It's on my horizon. So Mission Gold, Korean watercolor paint. Supposedly very bright. And you can see that I still have water up there. That's my sky. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the sand in. So I'm not going to do that on live video because I have to mix a sand recipe. Unless you want to see it, I guess. If you want to see it, message me and I'll set it up again. Right now I'm just taking one tube into the room here and showing you some clouds and some sky. And then I think my plan was I'll put in the sand and I'll put in the bushes and trees. And then when I might go live again to put in the ocean, just so you can see that. So I see some latecomers. Let me turn the light back off. And you can see the natural light again. This is Horizon Blue Mission Gold paint. Just one paint color. Done in the wash. And then I took some paint out for the clouds. All done with this big bad boy. This Vinci Maestro. Now I want you to know that if you've ever been thinking about this brush, you know, I've become like the advertisement person for this brush. I've only had it a couple days. I'm telling you. And I heard it too, you know, when I was starting, people say, you gotta get this brush, it's really great. And you're like, yeah, I'll just, you know, plow through with something else. I put this wash in while people were watching. So all of you who watched from the beginning know that it went in very quickly. That was really quick. Now I have struggled with a flat brush to get that in nowhere near that quickly. Very finicky. You have to keep flicking back and forth. And, you know, you come back and you touch, so you don't have the straight lines. And this has no straight lines, no stratas in it, lots of water. You can see the paper rippling, which, you know, it's not supposed to happen in Archie's block, but surprise, it does. You know, life, you just got to go around it. That's no fault to the brush. So when I say speed, I had a review on this and I said you can add speed to your painting. I mean, that is just done. I would still be fussing with this if I had my flat brush. And I'm not, I've got to try a flat Da Vinci. If you own one and you have great luck with that too, please message me and tell me. I'd love to hear. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to press the button to stop the live video. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get my sand recipe ready and put the sand in. If you'd like to see the sand, then go ahead and message me and let me know, and I will do it live. Right now I'm going to move to my paint station and I'm going to have to do my sand recipe. But if you'd like to see it, I'll bring all the paint this side and I can set that up again. And I can repress the live button. If not, you know, no one wants to see sand, then I'm going to definitely live paint in the ocean and be surprised. So again, if you watercolor paint, you'll know when I say you never know what you're going to get. Thanks for stopping in. I know Maui's in the house and I'm not sure where everybody else is from, but thanks for coming in. And if you join me again, you know, you can go ahead and talk and say some cool stuff. But I will say aloha for now and I will be back. Thanks for joining.